Hello friends, welcome back to another video here today. We are back, not from a new location, but the location that I have been to before, but I haven't been here since 2018. If you can tell, we're back at Hersheypark in Hershey, Pennsylvania. It's gonna be a great day today. Like I said, I've been here in the past. I rode my 100th roller coaster here, believe it or not. And walking into Hershey's Chocolate World, of course, we gotta start with the dark ride. Smells like chocolate. This is what I remember from 2018. And oh yeah, they have a testing. Sorry, this is like all new and stuff, but we're here today. Park opens at 10 o'clock. It's like 9:30 right now, but Hershey's Chocolate World does open at 9 a.m. So of course we got to do the Hershey's Chocolate Tour dark ride. It's a great way to start a day at Hersheypark. And on top of that, we don't only have one new coaster cred, we've got two. And my sisters, do you want to be in it?
Disturbing the block, disturbing the block.
I don't know what she's saying. But we got two coaster creds. So in the front of the park, we've got Candymonium, which is a B&M Hyper, opened in 2020. But when I was here in 2018, it wasn't here. And then we have a brand new roller coaster actually opened this year with Wildcat's Revenge, which is an RMC hybrid. If you know me, you know I love my RMCs. My number one is an RMC. I'm debating though between Gwazi or Velocicoaster. So, but yeah, it's gonna be a great day. And of course, I gotta get back on what was my 100th roller coaster, Sky Rush. If you can't remember, my 100th was Sky Rush, and I'm excited to get back on that today. Let's not waste any more time to get started with our day.
Hosting it here, isn't it?
All right, first ride.
Next, we quickly cool the beans and
chocolate
feed them
tour.
into our breaking chamber, which cracks open the shells at high speed. Inside each are tiny pieces called cocoa nibs. Hey, a good friend of mine is waiting up ahead to tell us more.
Hey, look, it's the Hershey bar.
Unsweetened chocolate. Cocoa nibs have been ground down like this for thousands of years.
You can see they're actually pouring chocolate. That's pretty cool.
Lots of heat through intense pressure and friction. The grinding turns cocoa nibs into
And just like any Hershey's chocolate ride, you get a free piece of candy at the very end. See, that's what's so great about this attraction versus the others, is that at the very end you get a free little Hershey bar. But the ride itself is really nice. It really shows you how they make Hershey's chocolate. Like honestly, this ride could fit really well at Epcot. I said this the last time, I still stand by my statement. Alrighty, we are now outside, and here's the front entrance of Hersheypark. The last time that I was here, this entrance was a lot smaller. It was much different. In 2020, they did modernize the entrance, and it looks absolutely fantastic. This is something that looks very similar to like Carowinds or Cedar Point. Looks really good. And it's not that busy. There's not many people here like getting into the park. That's actually pretty good. All right, so we just entered Hersheypark and we're walking right up to Candymonium. This ride looks massive. Like, this is a big coaster. Like, I mean, like having Mako in my home park, I mean, I was expecting it to be pretty big, but this is like, I'm surprised by how big it actually is in person. Because knowing this is a smaller scale hyper, I was expecting it to be a little bit smaller, but nah, this looks massive. It looks beautiful to look at. Wait time is 45 minutes, so it's actually not too bad, considering it is a Friday. But yeah, and you've got the amazing Hershey's Kisses fountain there. This looks fantastic. I'm excited. All right, so we just took a quick ride on the carousel. That was tons of fun. Now we're about to ride our first coaster of the day, which is Candymonium, a B&M Hyper coaster. I've heard mixed reviews of this one. Some people say it's one of the best. Some people say it's mid. Some people say it's one of the worst hypers. But I doubt it'll be Mako, but I mean, we'll see. This ride does look really beautiful. I like the presentation, especially that turnaround over by the fountain. Looks really good. I will talk to you guys once we get off. All right, just at Candymonium, and that was pretty good. You know, wasn't anything spectacular in comparison to like, let's say Mako or Goliath over Georgia. And I honestly probably would take Diamondback over Candymonium. But Candymonium, it was pretty good, but definitely not one of like the elite hypers like some people say. But I definitely enjoyed it, although the one thing I didn't like about Candymonium, those ops are very slow. In comparison to like Mako, because it's just because I'm probably used to Mako where those ops are just flying nonstop. But, you know, it was still an enjoyable hyper. I love the visuals, the presentation's nice, but it wasn't the best B&M hyper, and that's okay. You know, that's why I like, you know, riding these coasters, again, compare them to others. But yeah, an enjoyable ride. Now, fun fact, Over here is where they used to have the carousel back in the day before they added Chocolate Town, which is where Candymonium is now, which I think it's pretty cool. They still at least pay homage to the tent at least. Do you know what I find super funny? How I've been to Hersheypark so many times, yet I have never done the claw. Well, it's right here, might as well just go ahead and ride it. One thing I'll have to get later is at least one nano coaster. They've got Super Duper Looper, Storm Runner, Candymonium. Oh no, I dropped one to the Twilight Zone. Candymonium, Sky Rush. They got one of Lightning Racer, Fahrenheit. There's a ton. All right, we're about to go ahead and ride the Fahrenheit next. I remember riding this last time I was here in 2018. I remember enjoying it in 2018, but let's see how it holds up after 5 years was the last time that I was here. So yeah, let's do it. All right, I just did Fahrenheit. And the last time I rode it, like I said, was 5 years ago on July 22nd of 2018. But 5 years later, I forgot how good that ride was. I mean, last time I rode it, I remember saying like the ride had some very fun inversions, very unique inversions, but that was intense. Like, I feel like the ride was like pushing me. I'm like, I don't remember it being that forceful. And it had a really good head chopper at one point. And the Norwegian loop was fantastic. That coaster is gonna shoot up in my rankings, absolutely. Amazing roller coaster. All right, we have made it to the Midway Americas section, and over here we have got Wildcat's Revenge, which is an RMC. And if you know me, you know I love my RMC hybrids. This will be my 5th RMC. Like I said, my #1 overall is Iron Gwazi over at Busch Gardens, Tampa. But this ride looks insane. I've heard it actually kind of runs like Iron Gwazi too, so we'll see. And it's actually gonna be doing a flyby over here just a little bit. There it goes. There it goes. You can literally see like come through right here. Oh, it looks awesome. I like the presentation of this coaster too. So yeah, let's get over to the entrance. Entrance is over here. Let's get in line for Wildcat's Revenge. Oh wow, that looks amazing. What's so great about Wildcat's Revenge is that this actually used to be the lift hill, and this is where the first drop originally was. I remember doing the original Wildcat, so it'll be awesome getting to do this version. As you can see, is already going up the lift hill. That is 140 feet, so it's not as big as Iron Gwazi or Steel Vengeance, but it's pretty big, and there's actually not much of a line. Maybe there's time we could actually ride it twice. Goes down the drop. Now this attraction does feature double-sided lockers, so it's kind of like what it is over at Velocicoaster and Tron, where you put your stuff in the locker on one side, retrieve it from the other. It's a great system. I love that parks are utilizing this. So yeah. All right, I just got a chance to experience Wildcat's Revenge in the back row. That had to probably have been the most aggressive RMC I've ever experienced. Like, the drop was incredible. First off, I love the world's largest like barrel roll, whatever that was. It was incredible. The airtime was so extreme. The wave terms were intense. I was scared really because this thing closed last week for maintenance because it was swaying too much. So I'm like, uh-oh. I'm glad I got to ride it, but I know why they closed it because that was insane. Top 5 coaster, one of the best rides I've ever done. I loved it. 10 out of 10. Probably the best coaster at Hersheypark, and I haven't even done Sky Rush yet today. Like, it was that good. All right, I think it is time to experience the laugh track, the ha-ha-ha track. To me, this is easily one of the most bizarre attractions in the entire world.
Sister takeover. I found Zach a girlfriend. I think she's very pretty. Let's take a closer look. I think she's in Zach's league.
Laugh track had kind of a long line, and if it starts raining later, that's a good one to do when it's raining. So, you know what? Let's go hop on Lightning Racer. What's so weird about Lightning Racer is that when I first rode it 5 years ago, it was my favorite GCI. Like, I loved it. But it's gonna feel weird riding this after riding like Mystic Timbers and Thunderhead. It's gonna feel weird. Because I've heard this one's kind of forceless. We'll just have to wait and see. All right, just finished with Lightning Racer. Of course we won. I had to choose Thunder because Thunder always wins for some reason. But that was about just as good as I remembered it being 5 years ago. It was a little rough, but that's what I liked about it because there wasn't much airtime or anything like that, but the roughness made it like we were like kind of gliding. It added to the aggression of Lightning Racer. Phenomenal coaster, but it doesn't beat like Mystic Timbers or Thunderhead. Enjoyable ride. All right, I remember the last time that I was here, this was the Hershey's Extreme Challenge, but in 2019 they changed it to Reese's Cup Fusion. Let's go ahead and ride it. Just had a chance to experience Reese's Cup Fusion. That had to be one of the most weirdest, like, dark rides I've ever experienced. Like one of the weirdest shooting dark rides. It was cool though. The technology is nice. I think this is what Candymonium Blast could be at Universal. It was just a weird experience, honestly. At the end it said Happy Holidays. I'm like, it's literally like a few days after 4th of July. We're not into Christmas time yet. Come on now, bruh. All right, we are now over by Jolly Rancher Remix and Storm Runner. We're gonna start off with the Boomerang Jolly Rancher Remix, which the last time I rode it, it was Sidewinder, so it'll be nice getting on this. And plus, what's super cool, it's got like a scented tunnel. So they got a whole cherry scent. That's actually pretty cool. I don't think any other roller coasters really have that, but that's awesome. So we're gonna do this and then we're gonna head on Storm Runner, which they're running 2 stations, which is good because I remember for a while they were only loading 1. So that's really good to see Storm Runner utilizing both sides. All right, just got done Jolly Rancher Remix. And that was probably, honestly, the best boomerang I think I've done now. Because, I mean, I did it when it was Sidewinder, but it's technically it was a retheme, so, you know, not new cred. But it was fun. We got green apple for our scent, which was pretty good. It smelled realistic, which was nice. It was a very enjoyable ride. But now, we're gonna go on Storm Runner, which I remember this one absolutely blew me away when I rode it 5 years ago. I hope it still holds up after 5 years. Alrighty, just had the opportunity to do Storm Runner. And I don't know what it is about Storm Runner. The first time I rode it back in 2018, I was blown away by it. I mean, that launch is insane, but this ride was just as intense as the first time I rode it. I don't know what it is. That literally is just crazy. Like, so good. Like, it's got an incredible launch, and the inversions are amazing. That flying snake roll is literally one of the best inversions I've ever experienced on any roller coaster. It's awesome. I love Storm Runner. I didn't realize we were at Disney World. That's pretty funny. We made it to Super Duper Looper, but guess what? We're only running 1 train. So that means the line's definitely a little longer than normal. With the rain too. Interesting experience. All right, now it's raining. I think Florida decided to join me for Hersheypark. But in all reality, we did actually manage a ride on Super Duper Looper before everything shut down. It is starting to clear up, which is good, but I just think it's hilarious. But Super Duper Looper, let me tell you, this ride was absolutely hilarious. So, we got on. They said it was a new water ride coaster. All right, we get up the lift hill, get through the loop as usual, though couldn't really see much because it was raining. And of course, you go through a tunnel, it's like, oh, nice little break from, you know, the rain. And then we get outside to do like the rest of the ride with the helix and everything. It just starts downpouring. It was so funny. That was probably one of the most memorable rides I've had on any roller coaster. I'm glad it was on a childhood classic, like Super Duper Looper. All right, weather looks like it's starting to clear up, so hopefully it should be starting to test the coaster soon. Love to get a ride on Sky Rush. The thing is that I saw them taking out a train, so it might be going to 1 train, which is unfortunate. But, I mean, what can we do at this point, honestly? All right, so Sky Rush is actually closed for operational purposes, so it's not like just the weather, but it's closed because they're having technical issues, so it's just Intamin being Intamin, so why not grab a ride on the lovely Comet, which has been operating here since 1946. Why not? Just had a chance to experience the Comet once again, and it still holds up after all these years. Definitely a little rough, but again, it opened in 1946, but compared to other classic wind coasters, that still, honestly, it was one of the smoothest ones. And it got some nice airtime, really good laterals, believe it or not, as well. But yeah, overall, very enjoyable ride on the Comet. It's a classic, you can't go wrong with it. Now we are about to experience Great Bear, which is the B&M invert. I remember it being one of the weaker inverts, but I still really enjoy it. Well, I enjoyed it back in 2018, so who knows, we'll see if it still holds up today.
Hello vlog, it's the sister. So the ride closed and Zach is sad. But we do have a slushie, which is making me happy. Because there's heavy rain and that's no bueno for rides. That's all I know about roller coasters.
She's lying. In all seriousness, I'm not actually upset, but there is some pretty bad rain coming through, so might as well just sit back, relax for a little bit. All right, just made it back over to Hershey's Chocolate Town. Just exited the park technically, but we're in the souvenir store. The rain did die down, but it's looking like it's gonna be some more storms, so just gonna call it a day here. But I did get a couple of merchandise stuff that we'll be showing you. We got a Wildcat's Revenge t-shirt and a Candymonium nano coaster. But yeah, over here is actually, this gift shop wasn't here originally the last time I was here in 2018. This opened in 2020 with Chocolate Town in 2020, which is when Candymonium also opened. So that's pretty cool. Just gonna stroll around. I do have a little ice cream parlor I'll have to check out with Milton's. Let's check it out. This is the sweetest place on earth. Like, come on now. Over here is a look at Milton's ice cream parlor. Like I said, this is a pretty popular place at Hersheypark, and apparently the ice cream is pretty awesome. Don't know if we're gonna check it out, but from what I've heard, the ice cream is absolutely amazing. So if you ever come to Hersheypark, I would definitely suggest checking out Milton's on the way out. All right, that is going to conclude today's video here at the lovely Hersheypark. Overall, had an amazing day today here at Hersheypark. Got to do some amazing roller coasters, especially Candymonium and Wildcat's Revenge. Those two were great. Candymonium, fantastic hyper, despite me being just a little bit disappointed by it. And then Wildcat's Revenge, absolute top tier coaster. It makes my top 5. Just saying, to say that it makes the top 5. And got to experience some other new attractions like the new Reese's Cup Fusion was pretty good, even though it opened in 2019. Rode the the claw for the first time. It was flat ride, but it was fun. And then the John Rich remix, which was Sidewinder, but they did retheme it, so it was nice to do that. And I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos in the future if you enjoyed this one. And don't forget to check out Theme Park Guide Productions as well on all social media platforms. I'll have a link in the description. We'll take you to Instagram, TikTok, Discord, Threads, which is the new Threads which is new on Instagram. I'll see you guys next time, and you're clear for dispatch.